Okay, sir, we are on screen.
Not public ang akong gusto, but in a controlled crowd.
It's not accepted, especially in the norms and standards of the biblical principle.
Unsa man imong mastorya sa amo nga mga kabataan when it comes to nga nga mga butang.
The number one na is yung emotion. Control your emotion firstly. Ano yung pinaka-importante sa tanan?
I don't think ang solution niya kay to put sex education in the curriculum. I think the solution is to empower or to embolden these professionals nga na dito na dito education.
Maara ba nga dili lang siya i-discuss lang sa public tungod sa discomfort.
It goes beyond the normal proportion of thinking of humans.
It depends upon the culture of the people that they practice.
When curiosity strikes, you will start imagining things.
Kaya lang tarungon ang naa na ta karon, dili na kailangan mag-add.
That topic is something nga kanang private gani.
Dapat sila mo develop og strategy ba nga like naagi retention pag human in every situation.
And for
I am sexually comfortable.
okay, good. Hello Nya, good day. Hi Nya, how are you?
Hello, ladies. Good day. Actually, it's my pleasure to be part of your interview for this activity for understanding myself. And I feel excited right now for you to be asking me only one question.
yes, yes. Yes, I'm also excited about your point of view, no? What I'll be asking you is a point of view of a youth, a female youth, on what your take about this one. So, for you, Nya, as a woman, what is your take on the sexual topics? Does it create discomfort on you when it is discussed on you on public?
Okay, so as for me, as a woman, I think it would really create discomfort. It's because we all know that most people are not open-minded about it when we talk about sexual topics, especially when it is discussed in public. And also, I would find it very discomfort. It's because it depends upon the culture of the people that they practice. So let's say, for example, when we talk about sexual topics here in the Philippines, we all know that Philippines is one of the most conservative country, and we don't usually talk about sexual topics. So that's why, for me, it would really create discomfort, and it depends upon the people. If they are open-minded about it, then it's okay. I wouldn't find this, uncomfortable. So as for me, it would really depend upon the people whom you're talking to with. And also, it depends upon the culture that they practice. And that's when it creates discomfort. That's
So,
the
do you think, Miss Nina, that our country, the Philippines, needs to adjust something on our culture based on this one?
Well, I think yes. It's because we all know that talking about sexual topics is very relevant and it's very timely, especially these
Yes.
days that a lot of teenagers are suffering from or they experience teenage pregnancy. So
Yes.
it would really cause it would really affect our economy also because most people would experience poverty because of teenage pregnancy.
Yes.
And I think sexual topic would be adjusted. Like people would be should follow or practice the awareness of talking sexual topics, especially in public places.
Yes, okay. Yes, I agree. I hope that our government would allow our educational system that they would put sexual awareness, no, sexual education on our youth, especially today that teenage pregnancy is very relevant. So, for you, it creates discomfort when discussed in public. Again, based on the culture, no, and
Yes,
as
culture.
a woman yourself and as a woman myself as well, it really creates discomfort, especially when you're not comfortable with your
Yes,
surroundings, with the people around you, with whom you're talking to, no. So
yes, yeah.
Thank you so much, Nia, for that very wonderful insight. So, thank you so much for your time and for your effort. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss also. You're welcome. Good night.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Hi, Kuya Jay. Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Kuya, sa pag-accept sa invitation niya na ma-interview ka karong hapon na.
I mean, salamat po sa privilege nga may interview nimo.
Sige, Kuya. Ito ang topic dahil is about understanding the self, specifically the sexual self. Ikaw ko napili, Kuya, nga i-interview it's because I know nga na kay something makontribute as a man, as a kuya. Unsay imong perspective or unsay imong take about this one, Kuya. So, ngano kaya, Kuya, nga ang mga sexual topics if i-discuss siya sa public or kanang magstorya ka sa public about sexual topics kay maka-create siya og discomfort sa mga tao.
Siyempre, mag-create man yun na siya of awkwardness sa mga tao kay that topic is something nga kanang private gani. Kung say private man god, dili man tanan tao ana ngana gani ang ginabuhat. For example, dili tanan tao pareha og kanang pagka-race. For example, sa ako kana ng mga topic man god is something nga kanang sa ako private na siya sa ako nang dili siya usual nga ginaistoryahan out of kanang sa daghang tao ana gani. Napoy uban nga kuan tao nga murag sa ilaha normal sa ilaha pero that doesn't mean nga mali na siya murag mali siya nga istoryahan sa out sa public. So nalang gyud uban nga sila okay sa ato dili. Sa uban lang gyud mag-create siya og awkwardness. Syempre kay sila nadak-an or sila na-experience natudlo sila nga dili siya normal nga i-speak out sa public ana.
Kana siya nga sexual topics is for private purposes lang gid siya no. Sa imong Kuya Je, karon man gud kay prevalent kayo ang teenage pregnancy tungod dili gina-discuss sa mga kabataan ang kanang mga topics so wala sila education about ana. Tama ra ba nga dili lang siya i-discuss lang sa public tungod sa discomfort?
Actually sa ako ang buwan sa akong opinion or sa akong experience dapat siya i-discuss sa kanang for example sa mga estudyante pero ang problema good is ang pag-deliver sa mga estudyante. Unsa ni mo siya pag-deliver para masabtan nila in a way nga dili gani sa bad side mabong ilang ginahuna-una about ana nga topic. For example karon sa mga bata, kuan mangud sila, take in na kayo. So expose kay sila sa mga gadgets ana. Gadgets man gud is kanang full of kanang information. Pareha na nga mga nga topic about sex or kanang even videos, di ba? Na accessible kayo na sa ilaha. Pag mo na sa information nga ma-take up nila una before ang katong unsa ba sakto i-talk about sex man gud ako bigid siya og ano dili lang siya poringon nga katong for pleasure lang gani nga topic. So kana lang dapat siya itudlo pero dapat ang insakto sa gid pod kung unsa ni mo pag-deliver sa imong tudluan or unsa ni pag-istorya kana man number 1 di ba kay kung dili mao ang imong pag-communicate ma-misunderstood man jud ka sa imong istoryahan. So mo na isa ka important nga part ana nga topic ang communication or unsa ni mo pag-deliver sa imong topic adto sa imong istoryahan.
As Kuya Je, kay unsa man imong mastorya sa amo ang mga kabataan when it comes to nga mga butang?
Number 1 na is imong emotion. Control your emotion first good. Manay pinaka-importante sa tanan kay if you let someone control your emotion, then mag-follow na imong kuan jud na tanan.
So dapat kailangan gid no nga aware ato mga kabataan karon unsay mga consequences if ever na mosulod mi sa nga nga butang kay lisod na kay ang kinabuhi karon tapos mulisod pa if dili pa mi ready tapos ma-misinterpret na mo mga information nga magkuha na mo through our peers sa social media. So pinaaging ani nga video no, it would really help the people nga magkitaan ni to be informed or to be reminded about the things they should consider first before engaging sa nga butang, and they will be informed no nga to control really the emotions kay it is really the feelings at that moment ang pwede nga makaguba sa imong future. So again Kuya Je, daghan king salamat ya sa imong gi-offer nga time and sa imong gi-offer na effort ani nga interview. Thank you so much ya and God bless you.
Good afternoon, Sir John.
After the
Thank you kayo, sir, sa pag-accept sa mong invitation to interview you, sir. So, karon sir, our topic is a bit liberated gamay, sir, no? So, it is about sexual topic, sir. So, kani siya, sir, kay diri na siya sa mga understanding the self na subject, and specifically we are on our topic on sexual self. So karon sir, I'll be asking you, sir, as a Christian, sir, no? I'll be asking you on what is your take about this issue. So my question for you, sir, is why do sexual topics create discomfort when discussed in public?
Yeah. First of all, sa Kristiyano, we are into biblical perspective. And if we talk about biblical perspective point of view, it doesn't talk too much about sex. Diba? So it's not accepted, especially in the norms and standards of biblical principle. And the fact that it goes beyond the normal proportion of thinking of humans, like it is not really accepted in the norms and standards of the society, that kind of topic. Kay sexual, like as if it connotes something malicious, something scandalous, which perhaps also the reason why it is really scandalous in a way nga vulgar ganin mo siya, no? Stay ganin mo yung sex, di ba? So that's it. It's not really accepted in the commonalities of human beings here in the society.
So, to follow, sir, no, sa karon, sir, no, our youth is really experiencing teenage pregnancy, sir, no. It's because of the thought that it's not discussed in public, so kulang og sexual education, sexual awareness. So, how do you think, sir, the perspective of what you have said, sir, can help with the issue?
Talking about that issue is really important. So you start first at home. That's the best education that you can offer with regards to that kind of topic. So you need not to publicly discuss it or deploy it to other people, but it should start at
Within the family.
from the family. So the family, the parents will be discussing yung mga topics about sex education sa ilang mga anak, di ba? So that's one way of letting the students be educated about that kind of topic. So after that, if kung nag-start siya sa home, so there's no reason nga the student cannot understand what's the kind of topic and what's the consequences if you do that kind of thing. O, di ba?
So, ayun. Thank you kayo, sir, for your perspective as a Christian, sir. No? That was very an insightful answer, sir. It's really true that it should start at home.
Yeah.
No, dili lang sexual topic, but the moral principles, right character, right behavior, it should always start at home before going out. So, thank you kayo, sir, for your time, for your effort, and God bless you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, sir, we are on screen. Thank you so much kayo, sir, sa imong pag-accept kanina invitation, sir. I just want to say that I have chosen you as my respondent to this one because I believe that as an educator, sir, and as a man yourself, you can give another side of the coin about this topic. So, this topic, sir, would be understanding the self, specifically the sexual self. So, I hope you're comfortable there, sir.
I am sexually comfortable.
I just want to know, sir, what is your take about this one, sir? So the question, sir, is that do you think, sir, that sexual topic create discomfort when discussed in public?
Discomfort with regards to discussions of sexual topics in the public sphere is, of course, not necessarily normal, so to speak, in our culture here in the Philippines, most especially. We are mostly Catholic and Christian, and of course, the third or maybe the second main language here in the country is Muslim or Islam. So even them, the topic of sexual stuff is not necessarily discussed in public. It creates discomfort because most of the time, when we talk about sex, we do not talk about the academic side of sex or
Yes.
the social side of sex. We talk about sex in terms of romance, porn. With that, with the religious and the romantic aspect of sex creates discomfort because sex is primarily private. So when we discuss it in public, na siya discomfort. So,
So compared to other countries nga open kay sila ani sir, do you think sir as an educator the government would place sexual education in the educational sphere?
well, other countries are open and are liberated when it comes to sex. I don't think that the Philippines should look to foreign countries in terms of deciding to put sex education in curriculum. Kay kuan man, the clientele is the Filipino people man, the Filipino students. So therefore, we should look into the context of our country. We are still conservative in a sense. So kailangan if we put sex education in the curriculum, it must somehow be conservative. Ang iyang approach, dili siya dapat pattern sa ibang countries. Ana gani. And in the first place, I don't think na sex education should be put in the curriculum. I think sex education should happen in the household, should happen in the family, dili siya sa public sphere as I said. Kay the public institution, the public school is a public sphere. So, kung i-discuss na mo ang sex sa inanana nga context, especially sa ato ang mindset as Filipinos, our mindset is not entirely academic ba? Ano gani? Dili siya academic ba pagabot sa sex. So, dili siya ma-discuss properly. I don't think ma-discuss siya properly kung ibutang siya sa public school. So, I think sa balay siya dapat.
This is very relevant issue which is the teenage pregnancy sa atong youth sir. So how does the educational system can assist these youth sir?
Naman ko tayo guidance counselors. They are in place in the public education, even in the private education. The problem is these guidance counselors are not trained. They are trained. They are not guidance counselors like professionally speaking. These guidance counselors are, aside from they are not professionally guidance counselors, they are also not trained. They are also not exposed sa guidance counseling itself. Okay, naman na sila yung mga klase good since they are teachers and assign lang nila. They have their classes and they cannot focus on actually guiding students and actually counseling students. So, naay institutions and naay persons and naay professionals na placed by the government, so to speak, in the public sphere para sila ang mag-guide. The problem is, ang human resource nga aspect ba kay dili gani strict or dili siya wala siya gina-follow. So instead ang atong person na mag-guide atong mga student na ay problem in terms of sex or problem in terms of pregnancy or sa family, dili na yun ma-address teenage pregnancy for example. I don't think na ang solution niya kay to put sex education in the curriculum. I think the solution is to empower or to embolden these professionals nga naa didto na gyud sa institution, and if wala professional na available, the government should put professional individuals so that mudagan ang guidance counselor. Mahimo din siyang guidance counselor good. And with that, matabangan niya ang katong concerned student. So nga na ba? I think kailangan lang tarungon ang naa na ta karon. Dili na kailangan mag-add kay
Okay.
dungagan lang ako gamay ko dili. Kung mag-add ka man gud ka o another subject for example, I don't think nga masulod siya sa MAPE ang sex education. Dili na naman somehow sa health, but ang health kay dili ba kay gid siya ginaklasehan. So kana sa ba na ay mga in place ng mga programs ng mga subjects na kailangan kato na lang ang pagulungon og maayo, dili na ka magdungag because when you add more sa ato ang curriculum, wala na mabuang ng estudyante kay we have too much subjects already. And
Paano sir, barangay officials could also use the platform of school sir no to create symposiums, seminars, no webinars to our students sir no. We'll
Exactly.
collaborate with the school, with the institution.
and nasa levels di ay kay when you talk about public sphere, kay, di ba, na-mention mo nga na, among friends or among family, tapos among teachers, among kuan. So, levels ba, pagawas siya sa greater public, so to speak. So, I think discomfort when you talk about these topics as you go out. So, murang yun na ba, as you go towards the outer circle. So, kung naka sa inner circle pa, perhaps with your close friends, I think murag okay pa na siya. And it is good in a sense na kay friend, for example, because when you have problems with regards to sex, sometimes you can share that to your family ba? Sometimes you can share it to your friends. Like, for example, na kay sexually transmitted disease. Na ako'y friend na nag-share sa kuwagi mo na wala na-share sa iyong mama. So, yeah, it's somehow good and there's no discomfort there. But as you go out, na ay discomfort.
Yeah. I guess marag goan kay to siya ng explanation, sir. Marag on point, very on point. Kay di ba if you are
Lagi.
talking with your friends, dili discomfort but comfort, di ba, usahay. But with the other friends na kanang dili ingon nga close kaayo, medyo discomfortable kaayo, na ay judgment, di ba? It is really based on your surroundings, on that certain public kung kinsa na sila, sir.
Naku, yung interesting lang po na realize Wink ba?
Yes,
Kay,
sir.
di ba, as you go out to the outer circle, lisod naman i-discuss ang sexual topics. Pero when you are with your friends, na ay ease, dira ba? So, it begs the question though, what is with these sexual topics? Nganong naa siya inunana? Nganong dili siya readily discussable? So,
May di sir, bubalik ta dito sa first na itong gistoryahan. Connect gihapon siya sa atong culture.
Yeah. Karon lang po ako naisip Wink na it's easy to blame culture ba? Ano ka?
Yes.
Culture na good na to. Paano to?
Pero what is really the underlying point
Oh,
outside sa culture nga
oh,
kuan?
ganun. It's so easy to step back and to depend on culture ba? Pero kung mukalot mo jud ka even further, deeper, unsa ka good ka na siya no? Unsa ka na siya? Kawan tan okay. Hindi mo kung sexual acts kay private mo gud siya nga stuff, right? So, mao ni siya ang moment or ang avenue between two people. Mao ni siya ang time of intimacy ba? Ang mao gud ni siya ang time na kana they can reveal to each other kung kaning side of them ba na dili nila basta-basta i-reveal to anyone. I think kana ang stuff na nag-hold back from people from discussing sexual stuff. Okay? Naay mga acts within ani nga sexual event. Ana gani vulnerable kay siya ba? Open kay siya ana nga instance. So, dili na niya ingon basta-basta lang. Even to his or her closest friends, dili na niya ingon ang details. Sila lang jud na sa iyang partner or even gani dili na nila ginaislitan sa iyang partner, but it's just happens sometimes. So, I think ang sense of vulnerability ba, I think kana ang nag-hold back from people from talking about sexual topics.
So, thank you so much, sir, no, sa imong insight wherein you pointed out the very core, which is the system gid ang problema. Why do this happen? You have also pointed the vulnerability of the system, the educational sphere, the problem with everything in between, sir, no? Teenage pregnancy gid is not just the main problem, but there are also underlying problems. Why do teenage pregnancy happen? We are not open to this discussion wherein our family kay naapoy kakulangan when it comes to this one. Walay education ang mga ilhang mga anak nga makuha sa ilhang mga ginikanan. It's because of the culture, sir, nga they are bata pa, di ba? Sa school, we have also the problem of our guidance counselors who are not trained, no? It is not to add something but to fix something nga existing na wala siya nag-work. So that was the perspective of an educator. The system, kung unsay gakahitabo sa school, unsay gakahitabo sa home, unsay gakahitabo sa a private space. So Mao to siya ang private space when it comes to public space, so iweigh in gid dapat ang mga butang. So again, daghan king salamat sir, and mao to siya. Thank you jud kayo sir sa imong time, sa imong effort, sa mga insights nga imong gihatag sa tuwa, dili lang sa kuha but also sa tong viewers nga magtanaw ani. So daghan king salamat sir.
Wow. Thank you, Wing, and thank you to our viewers. Ah.
It's sexual education for today's video. Dito, ako na siyang i-kuhan, sir. Ako na siyang i-stop.
Sige.
Okay, para...
Sige. Undangan
Thank you
natin.
kaayo, sir.
Hi Ate Odessa og Kuya Carl. Salamat kay sa pag-accept sa invitation po na ma-interview mong duha. So karon po ang topic na to is about understanding the self, specifically the sexual self. So kamo akong napili isa sa akong mga respondents no because I want to know the underlying point as a married couple on why do sexual topics create discomfort when discussed in public. Ngano mang kung maghisgot ka og about mga sex ana is nganong maka-create siya ganang awkwardness kung imo siyang i-disclose sa public within your friends or within everyone except yourself.
Sige, ako daw una. So, para sa ko, magdepende mong good siya. Like, even before I got married, sige, utang na to, anak. Ang marag tabu mong good siya, marag ulaw siya because it's a private matter. When I say private matter, mas comfortable ka i-discuss siya with the person whom you trust most. So, may nung tag-ibutan na to siya public. Siguro, ang culture pod sa diri sa Philippines kay dili pa siya ingon ana ka open when it comes to discussing sa ingon ana nga thing. And aside from that, though naanay kanang little changes sa ato since we are being influenced by the westernized, diba? As we can see, Western people are very much open sa ingon ana. And going back to the question nga nganong mag-create siya awkwardness, maybe the open-mindedness of the people siguro. And I think it depends on the age, or not really the age, but it depends on how mature a person is. So, if a person is mature enough and talking about that thing or magstorya tagbahin ana, comfortable na sila. Because lahi ang ilang hunay. Magdepende gihapon siya sa mindset. And kung like for example, mga young adolescents, kung storyahan ni mo ana, di ba usually, ang ilahag yung mga reaction is mukatawa. Di ba? Tawa so, uy, bastos mo na, nanay. Or uy, pang kuan naman na, pang dagko mo na. So, makita na to nga dili pa sila ingon ana ka open-minded. Di man sa ingon nga kinahanglan sila i-expose, but I think sa ilaha dapat we need to educate them more ana kay it's a serious matter and it brings future problems sa ato. And siguro going back to the question again, nganong kuan pod sila ma-create siya discomfort. Mo to isa ka reason no i-point out nato ang isa na depende sa maturity sa tao. Ikaduha is ang ilahang pagiging open-mindedness. Ikatulo is siguro ilahang perspective ana nga butang.
Ako kay there are different types of person. Sensitive sa mga words. Some people is okay lang, and some people is it means as a joke, mga green words. About the question, there are people na accept the mga words na yung ana. Then, napayuban na katong sensitive sila sa mga words. I think one thing na ipan is to educate yung mga young people for them to learn what is good and what is bad, especially sa mga words. Especially karon sa social media, mga kabatanon karon na naka-apply nila sa social media. So, it's not a good thing for them, for us, married couples, to teach the young people how to balance the right thing to do, on how to become a best example sa mga bata. Educate more and teach them what is the good thing for them. Mga lang po.
So,
Ako na ako i-add.
okay, sure.
Sige,
Sure, ate.
siguro para sa amo married couple, asking about that is really murag para sa amo is very much helpful. helpful in a sense na being a married couple mo rin nahimo na magid na siya nga more ibutan na tog obligation, diba? Even dili lang na siya true sa amo but sa uban pud nga mga minyo. So there are things nga kailangan siya i-discuss because there are things nga we need to learn more sa ingon ana nga aspect. Okay, since wala man mi na-expose ana before, so muna karon na para sa amo it's a part of learning pud siya. So in the same way dapat ingon ana pud ang mga younger generation para sa imuha as a college student, okay lang man na siya i-discuss in terms of education, in terms of learning. Pero when it comes to like mingon tag curiosity, I think it's a different matter. Because like you being a college student, sometimes when curiosity strikes, you will start imagining things, then you will discuss it to the other person na like muhatag ko yung opinion sa ingon ana nga matter. Pero the question there is, was it the right thing to do? To discuss it with someone na lack pud siya og knowledge with regards to ingon ana. So I guess sa inyo when curiosity strikes sa ingon ana nga matter, you should ask not the expert but those people na who have really deep knowledge about it. So that you will be given a different perspective side. And also, makorek pod the way ka mag-think sa ingon ana nga butang. And then you will also think sa imo nga dili day siya ingon ana day dapat unta ka awkward istoryahan. So I think it depends upon also the tenor or the tone sa imuhang number one environment, and the tone environment, the people whom you are talking to, and number 3 is how open your mind is.
So, based on what you have pointed both, no, the factors good is first is ang age, next is ang maturity, and ang perspective. So, ang problem good ay sa tuwa karon, teenage pregnancy is really a relevant thing today, no? So, ngano kaya nga kung kinsa pang young enough and not mature enough, sila pa ang nakauna na, it's because of the lack of discussion sa atong mga youth karon. So gina-encourage ba nimo atin na i-discuss siya in public but in an educational way, no?
Para sa ako not public ang akong gusto, but in a controlled crowd.
Okay.
Controlled environment.
In a household, for example.
Pwede na siya. Or, pwede po siya symposium. Pero usually, manggod sa kahitabo, when it comes to ingon ana, I think, dapat sila mo develop og strategy ba nga, like, naagi retention pag human in every symposium. Kay kabalo ko, even ikaw, maka-testify ana, nga, musulod ka sa symposium, mugawas ka, wadya po kayo natunan. So, actually, dili na siya sa imuha, but sa other students as well, di ba? So, ingon ana, I would really like to point out, if something na mo create ang school or even sa balay, I think dapat ang ilahag yung i-focus ana is the retention of learning.
But if there is really knowledge and clarity of the discussion, I think nga everybody would really listen.
Oh, and it depends upon the speaker as well. Kung how
educated.
Inaunsa niya pag-hold ang attention sa tao. Inana magid na it's really daghan factors kumbaga. So I think mas better siya i-discuss in a controlled environment than in public itself. Kaya usually at least sa controlled environment, you will know that the people there are interested enough. And then whereas in public, maingon ka nga, uy, unsa man siya pataka siya storya, or unsa man na, uy, di man na mao iyahang kuan. So meaning, makita nato no na mas better gid ang learning when it comes to controlled environment compared to the public.
Thank you kaayo Ate Odessa and Kuya Carl for thank you so much no for your acceptance to this invitation. So I hope nga sa mga maminaw ani nga interview, they will really learn something, no, just as how I've learned from both of you. So thank you kaayo and God bless you both.